welcome to Coping and Coffee again. This is our 5th episode, the last one, and I was thinking about it earlier, and I think that I'm really enjoying this authentic and unedited form of like videoing and episodes, even though later on, if I do continue to post on this channel, because I did start this series for a class, it may be like more of like vlogs and stuff, but I think that I will still keep this series, and this series is gonna kind of be like more of a authentic approach to like these types of subjects. So yeah, and this video is more maybe like a catch-up recap, just saying things that are on my mind. A big topic I wanted to touch on was last week marked 3 years since I lost my dad on the 29th, and it was interesting because this year I felt like I really grew, and I felt like it was more of a year of reflection for me rather than a year of me being sad and upset and crying like nonstop on that day. And I just kind of kept to myself. I actually had a presentation due that day, so I just kind of kept to myself and stayed in my bed all day and just worked on it and listened to some of his favorite songs, and wrote my yearly letter to heaven. It's something that I do every year. I write a letter to him and I update him on everything, which I highly recommend. I write a lot of letters. I don't feel like it's proven that writing helps you cope and get your feelings out, and it's things that not everybody needs to hear. So yeah, that's one of the things that I do every year. I have a cup of coffee because we used to always go and get coffee, and I kind of just, this year I just really reflected instead of looking back and keeping my eye focused on what was behind me and almost breaking my neck trying to look into the past. I looked ahead to the future, and every once in a while now I just glance in the rearview mirror and smile. You know, I hope that was a good analogy. But grief is such a touchy subject because it's like you can literally lose the same figure as somebody else that they lost in their life, but there's not any real like solid good advice because everybody's in different parts of their grief, and every relationship that you have is completely different than what someone else had. Like my relationship with my parent isn't going to be the same as your relationship with yours. So it's a realization that I've come across, that I know that I kind of try to avoid the topic of grief in like public, more so. Not really with my friends or anything, or the people that talk to me head on. I'm pretty open, as I've said before in previous videos, in the previous episodes. I'm very open with my truth. I'm very open with who I am. Sometimes it is my weakness, but I think that is also my greatest strength. So I am a firm believer that if you open up and you are that person to speak out and be honest. Sorry, my camera stopped recording for some reason, but okay. But I was saying, if you are that person to be honest about your truth and speak your ideas and what you're feeling inside, the good and the bad, and just know how to be vulnerable with people in a not too revealing way, it really opens people up and really makes them feel safe and comfortable around you. And maybe that's what more people need, to feel safe and comfortable in this world, because this world is scary as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I always talked about like doing videos and stuff like that my whole like teenage years when like YouTube was becoming a big thing, but I never actually interacted with it until now. Thanks, Professor. I know you're watching this. And it's definitely gotten me a little bit more out of my comfort zone, and I didn't think that I had a very big one. So yeah, but back onto the subject of last week. It was very overwhelming. I had to use a lot of the strategies that I know because one, I was going through what my soul goes through every year around October. No matter how much growth, it's like my body prepares to go through the trauma again. Like my soul starts to guard up and build walls, and just it's really a deeper feeling thing. Like it's deeper than just your regular feelings. It's like you just feel your soul. It's like, you know, in SpongeBob, when you have all the people, like all the SpongeBob's in his brain, like trying to figure things out and file things away. So it's like that. It's you, and they're just like, one of you is putting a brick, and then the other one is putting the other brick, and the other one is slapping on the concrete, and just they're building bricks, and you're just kind of like on the outside, like, what are you doing? Like, chill out. Like it's not happening again, you know? It's just the anniversary. Like, just chill out. And so I spent the day of the anniversary just working on presentations, like I said before, and just like trying to throw myself into school and just not focus on it. I didn't really cry though, because as much as I miss him and it sucks and I want him back, I feel like I've really come to the bottom line of the fact that there is no getting him back, you know? And it sucks to say, but there is no getting him back. So I feel like I've just reached that understanding with myself. So I'm like, there's really no reason to cry, but don't get me wrong, because it's been literally 3 years, and a song comes on and I go into tears. Like, I see how great and strong my little sisters are growing up, and I get into tears because I wish that he was around to see it, even though that I know he's somewhere watching. So, a little piece of advice, other than to just write a letter to somebody that's passed, the way that I said I write a letter to heaven, is also maybe sit down by yourself and put a chair in front of you, or don't, because maybe that just goes the extra mile of weird, I don't know, and have a conversation with that person. Because if you're spiritual or anything like me, I think that they might not seem like it, but they're there and they're watching. Say there is nothing out there though, say they don't really go anywhere. What does it hurt? You could probably get some things off of your chest that you didn't even know was inside of you. Yeah, I don't mean to be going into circles, but I kind of like this like conversation. It's like therapy, but cheaper. Maybe just videotape yourself talking to yourself. Call it a YouTube video, and then you're not crazy anymore, right? No? Okay. My sense of humor is not for everybody. Yeah, so last week, so Thursday was the 3-year anniversary of that, and then I've just had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and other than that, I lost a family member that was very dear to me. My best friend lost her grandfather, and that hit too, in the same, losing someone in the same week that you're already preparing for the mental and emotional strain of like losing another family member, even if it was a few years ago. Like, it takes an impact. And then my meds took forever to fill. I'll be completely honest about that one. And it kind of messed with my head a little bit too. I was quite emotional for no reason. Yeah. So that's it. I'm glad we caught up, and I'm glad I'm hoping that I find the time to make more of these videos, because I'm quite enjoying it. Thanks for watching. I'm Unique. This is Coping and Coffee, and I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Bye.